let's talk about the Wild Arms summons. During one of my playthroughs of Wild Arms 4, as we go through the summons, as it is now on the PlayStation Network and has new achievements, part of that, one of our streamer friends, Harkin, had asked me to review and rank all of the Wild Arms summons, and that is what I'm doing today. There are a couple of things to note as we go through these. I'll be going through the summons from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Alter Code F. There are some summons that just didn't make the cut because they're actually not summonable by the characters in the gameplay. Things like Lucide from Wild Arms 1 and 2, and Glyve the Gable from 2 as well. They're listed as summons, they have the same ideas and functions as a summon, or history, backstory, lore, etc. But because they're not summonable and they don't have summon animations, I'm not including them. Also not including the partner Lucide during the Anastasia fights in Wild Arms 2, because again, not a summon animation, and it's just something that exists as like part of the game and as a character of the game, not a summon that has a cutscene in battle per se. Some of the summons are also differently named, especially looking at the snow and ice summons and the ice runes specifically. They go from ice to snow to ice. We'll be going through these one by one, game by game, type by type. So we're going to start off with all of the fire element summons, Boa Galt, Moor Galt, Code M, depending on the game. And then at the end of all the animations, I will then have a ranking listing them, and I will be back to explain my thoughts, my feelings, and then from there, we will go forward and conquer. A couple of things to note about me. I will put my glasses back on after this, so if I stop blinking in the animation, that is why, because it doesn't track my eyes if I'm wearing my glasses, but also if I don't have my glasses on, I can't read what's on the screen. So while we're going through this right now, and I'm a little more animated, hopefully I'm blinking. If not, then maybe I'm just an unfeeling, soulless person. Could also be true. So, again, without further ado, we will start with the fire summons, and we will go from there as I'll recap my thoughts and feelings and why I gave them what ranking they did as we come through. So thank you all so much for the ride. This is going to probably be an hour-long video, and I appreciate you guys hanging out with me while I watch these animations with you and gush about them at the end. So, enjoy.
Safety device disengaged! Linking to the material! Ready to operate! Code M! Thanks to everyone who believed in me! Conduct a symphony! Liberate! Code M!
As I've mentioned at the beginning, a lot of these summons, especially the first few elemental, the first four elemental, fire, water, earth, and wind, are all probably going to be the exact same rankings, give or take, maybe a few exceptions here. For example, Wild Arms 4 was quite the upstart for me. I thought I wasn't going to enjoy their summon animations the first round, but then Parkin and I also discovered that the high summon ability exists in Wild Arms 4, and it also has a different summon animation as well, which kind of threw everything that I had planned out the window, and I had to kind of reassess where I wanted some of these elemental summons. So, the first element summon that I wanted to go through is Fire, the one that we have listed. We've just watched all the animations for. A lot of the summons, 1, 2, 3, and Alter Code F, they're okay. They're not my favorites. They're pretty standard. I can't rank them any lower than C. I don't think they deserve F tier. They're not bad. There's nothing bad about them. I'm not the biggest fan of Fire Element as a whole, personally, but I do enjoy them. The one I will say that is the upstart is the Blank Rune representing Fire for Wild Arms 4. That one actually landed in B tier. That one was actually really, really solid. I quite enjoyed that one. The fact that there's two wholly complete separate animations, and that the second animation, from my understanding and my interpretation, looks to be incorporating some elements of maybe other summons, with the light coming up and then the light being absorbed or like reflecting on the bird. Things like that I enjoyed. I think some of the Wild Arms 4 summons look like they could have two elements, and we'll touch on those as we go through this as well. But I just wanted to give you guys that kind of heads up that Wild Arms 4, while my not personal favorite Wild Arms game, is probably going to rank a little bit higher in some of these elemental ones, just because of how unique I think the animations were. But as a whole, as intro, Fire, totally fine, totally solid. And then we'll move on to the next element, which I believe is going to be Earth.
Linking to the material. Driving over. Code G.
What do you think you're doing?
Conduct a symphony. Optimized signal. Code G.
And with that last Earth animation, I do agree that a lot of these are going to be pretty mid. I do have some higher ones. I do really enjoy the Wild Arms 4 one, like I mentioned before. Like with the Fire Rune, the Earth Rune just incorporates some darkness. It looks like it's maybe got gravity. It could be the moon. It just looks like it has like some sort of secondary element typing, even if it doesn't functionally in the game. Aesthetically, that's what I'm getting. I think all the summons in Wild Arms 4, the second high summon, have some sort of like rune associated with them, like in the script or like a design, which I think is also cool and really nice. But the Earth one was also pretty cool to look at. The second one that actually ranked up in B tier is the Wild Arms Alter Code F Earth Summon, as I really enjoyed that one. I think that one was also pretty fun to watch. I like the footprint in the sand, but as a whole, like I'm much more like wind type, as we'll see with the next few summons. And then obviously I have some S tiers that are going to show up later as well. But that's all I have to say for Earth. It's pretty solid. No pun intended.
Linking to the material. Wake up! Code S. Conduct a symphony. Run out hidden. Code S. I must.
All right, and moving into the water summon, I have given my first ranking of an A to the Wild Arms 4 Water Rune, which is, again is an upstart and an upset for me because I was the exact opposite. I was expecting all the Wild Arms 4 summons to be like low C, maybe even F tier, just 'cause I wasn't aware that they had a high summon. And the fact that they have a high summon animation kind of kicks them up a notch. Unfortunately, the earlier Wild Arms games, Wild Arms 1 and 2, their animations are nice. I really enjoy them, but they're not on the same caliber as Wild Arms 4 or 5 or even Ultra Code F. So some of them are going to get ranked a little bit lower. The water rank that I gave, the rank B for the water type that I got was from Wild Arms 2. I really liked it. It is similar to the Wild Arms 1 summon, and I do like the Wild Arms 3 summon as well, but something about 2 just hits right with me. I like the fact that it like kind of swoops them up, and it has like, again, I'm a water person. I'm not an air. I'm an air sign, but I'm a water person. I'm the water bearer, so I do enjoy the water summons quite a bit more than the first two, Fire and Earth. And now that the wind summons have been completed, we do have a second A rank. It's the Wild Arms 2 summon for Fengalon, which I do appreciate. Wild Arms 2 is my favorite of the Wild Arms games and the Wild Arms franchise, 3 with being a close second, which did get the B rank, so we got that one there. And also the Wild Arms 4 summon. Wild Arms 3 got the C rank. Wild Arms 4 got the B rank along with Alter Code F. Again, 4 coming in like a dark horse in this race with their summons, which is thankful that there's only one summon left for Wild Arms 4, because otherwise this would probably be a Wild Arms 4 sweep for the most part. But the wind ones I do like. I do like the idea of the tiger. And don't quote me, I'm not one for the mythos that this is pulling from as far as like my knowledge goes, and my knowledge off the top of my head. But I also am referencing Shadow Hearts a bit with the like Azure Dragon, the Black Turtle, the White Tiger, the Red Phoenix. I like that the Wild Arms franchise kind of also leaned into that. My first introduction to that category or that kind of concept was Shadow Hearts. I didn't really associate it with Wild Arms until adult looking back after playing Shadow Hearts, in the last 4 or 5 years. That's an interesting like parallel that I saw between whatever concept that is. I really should have looked that up ahead of time, but we're here now. And that kind of like culture and signifier and the symbology of those 4 animals and those 4 colors being referenced in Wild Arms in terms of their summons. Now that the first 4 elements are summoned, are done, not the first 4 element summons are done, there we go, I can speak. We'll start moving into some more niche summons, summons that don't feature in most of the Wild Arms games. They feature in a few, but they're not as prevalent as the first 4 elemental summons. And the first one we're going to be starting off with is Thunder. And for the Thunder summons, there are only 2 of them. They only appeared in 2 games, or technically 3 games. Wild Arms 2, and Wild Arms Alter Code F. I believe in the image that I've put on the screen for this, I've miscategorized one of them because I don't have Alter Code F listed. That'll get corrected later. But for the ranking here, I have Wild Arms 1 in C tier. Again, it's an elemental summon. It's not too spectacular. Wild Arms 2 in B tier, and Wild Arms Alter Code F in here. Wild Arms Alter Code F is not listed here in C tier, but it should show up in the next image or 3. I don't remember exactly when I saw the mistake, but I know it's there because the Thunder rune and the Love rune look nearly identical in their pixel art, and it is really hard for me to tell the difference sometimes. And I think all of the Wild Arms runes are unique. I like the original 1 and 2 designs better than the 3 on Alter Code F ones. And then 4 and 5, 4 doesn't have runes in terms of an icon, and 5 just has a static image. There's no unique design on any of them. So, my first loves will always be the Wild Arms 1. And now that we've done with Thunder, we'll talk about probably one of the biggest upstarts that you'll see here, starting with the Summit rune, which featured in Wild Arms 1 and Alter Code F, and then... Actually, no, let me rephrase that. Featured in Wild Arms 1 and Wild Arms 5. It did not reappear in Wild Arms Alter Code F. Let's go see what the Summit rune has in store for us.
you got?
All right. So for the Wild Arms summon for the Summit Rune, I gave it a rank of B. However, for Wild Arms 5, I gave it an S tier. Part of it is because I used Greg to summon it. Sure, I might be a little bit of a simp in that regard, but I love the design of, I'm going to butcher the name, Dino Genos from Wild Arms 5. He's a mountain of a man. He's got two big shields. I love defensive characters. I love defenses as a whole. You'll see some more as we get into the castle and Saint Rune later on, but I am a big fan of the Summit Rune. The animation's great. I love how like massive and imposing it feels with the giant shield walls. The effect is meh. I don't really care for just giving me defense, you know? Do damage and give me defense, like give me something more. But as far as like the animation goes, top tier. I love the summon animation for the Summit Rune from Wild Arms 5. I could watch that on a loop and not be bored. And with the Summit Rune complete, we shall move on to the Sword Rune, which also, I believe, only featured in Wild Arms 1, Alter Code F, and 5. Surprising that they included the Summit Rune in only 2 games, but the Sword Rune, 3.
This sword can kill with a single blow!
Alright. Now that the Sword Rune is here, I gave the ranking for Wild Arms 1 to B. It was pretty okay. I could take it or leave it. I think this is also where I messed up again, because I didn't include the the Sword Rune for Alter Code F until later, which I gave Alter Code F1 also a B. But I did put the Equites summon from Wild Arms 5 in the A rank. That is the first Wild Arms 5 summon in the A rank as well. And that is the summon just because I love Wild Arms 5's animations. Wild Arms 4 having both a regular summon and a high summon really took me like out of my element and like surprised me. But all of the Wild Arms 5 summons are perfect. I just wish we had more of them. Give me all 21 runes from the first game in Wild Arms 5. It's a love letter to the Wild Arms franchise. Give me my summons. Give me all of them in high definition glory, or as best as high definition glory as we could get at that time. Because the Sword Rune was perfection. Like, Genos was perfection. They're an S tier. But the Sword Rune, good, good, good. I really enjoyed it. I should have mentioned this at the top, but here we are mentioning it now because my life is a chaotic mess anyway. These summons will appear in not my preferred order within the tier, just in the order of the elements or the types or the runes that I'm going through. So as we add more runes, the ordering won't change. It'll just add on to whatever the next summon I decided to order will be. I hope that makes sense. We'll see. So after the sword, we have a flash of inspiration. We're going to go into the flash/light rune, which is one of the runes, I believe, that gets renamed. I mean, the one I mentioned, the summit rune might be the other one, because I think it's called the mountain rune in Wild Arms 5. But it's the same rune. It does the same thing. We're going to go talk about the flash rune from Wild Arms 1, 2, 3, Alter Code F. A little bit too bright in here, but now that we're back in our sanctuary of our ranking, let's talk about the light rune. I really enjoy the bug aesthetic. The Agoides bug is so good. It's like a Hercules beetle or some sort of beetle like that. There's some that are great. I really liked Wild Arms 1. It's the simplistic of like the shading, the coloring, the design. It's kind of cartoony and cutesy. I think the other designs went a little bit too hard. I mean, I do like 3 and Alter Code F, we'll talk about. But for the Flash rune, for Wild Arms 2 and Wild Arms Alter Code F, they both landed in C tier. I mean, they're going to land somewhere. I haven't put anything in F yet because there's nothing been so far that I think has been that bad. It's coming. But as far as the light rune goes, it's one of my favorite runes, surprisingly. I do like the light rune. I love the design of the rune itself. I think this is the one from Wild Arms 3 and Alter Code F that I actually really enjoy the design of, because it is a subtle nod to the original without being a complete departure. Whereas if you look at, let's say, the Wild Arms 1 and Wild Arms 3 water rune, we have like a cresting wave in Wild Arms 1 and 2, but in 3 and Alter Code F, we have a turtle. A little too on the nose, right? I'm not the biggest fan of like the creature being on the rune itself, but I think the light rune did it very, very well. And the animations were nice. I like the light element. I think it's fun. And yeah, let's move on to the death rune. From the light to the death. Let's go. All right. So the Death Rune actually ranked quite high as a whole. I gave the first Death Rune Gay Romtos, J Romtos, G Romtos, however you want to say it. From Wild Arms 1 a B tier and the Wild Arms 2 an A tier. The summons are wholly useless, which is why I'm not including power scaling in this at all. Because if I did, they would be an F tier, unfortunately, despite how much I love the design and aesthetics of just the death creature and death summon as a whole. I have nothing but good things to say about the Death Rune because I like the idea of it, especially in Wild Arms 1. I know I'm not taking like how you get it in the game into account, but I like the fact that it's an optional summon that you could miss and never have known that it was there if you didn't decide to explore and go back through that dungeon. I think it's the Rose Garden. I haven't played Wild Arms 1 in a couple years, so I don't remember the exact dungeon name off the top of my head. But I really enjoy the summon. I really enjoy how you get it. I really enjoy the animations, even if they are useless. The like occult-ish symbology on the second summon in Wild Arms 1 is perfection, as I love that design. It appears in books, and it appears in the casting of spells and stuff like that, and I think it's a great addition there. And then Wild Arms 2 was nice. I just gave the edge to Wild Arms 1 because of the two different summons. Wild Arms 2 gets a B because I do like the Blood Rain effect. I think that's pretty cool, of just the fact that it almost looks like a plague coming down to wipe out the enemies. And again, I think in the clip it missed. It happens, right? It's not 100% chance, and I'm fine with that. From the Death to the Seas, we shall go talk about the Triton Rune, or the Sea Rune, from Wild Arms 5. The Lucadia has only made 2 appearances in the Wild Arms franchise as a summon, in the first Wild Arms and the 5th Wild Arms game. I really enjoy the first summon as like the serpent creature. I think it's pretty fun, but I put it in sea. I do enjoy water. It just wasn't doing it for me. It could have done a little bit different of an animation or something. The waters were fine. I just wasn't the biggest fan of it. However, Wild Arms 5, as we are starting to see, was an A tier. I don't necessarily care for the ability. I mean, I love a healing summon. I'll love a healing summon, but I think the design of it was a bit off. Like, it's a woman attached to a creature, right? I think Wild Arms 5 was going for, let's make the summons humanoid, or if we can't do full human, we'll do human attached with something else. So Lucadia got human attached to sea creature, which is totally fine. Like, it's totally fine. But I just prefer the other ones that are, human attached to a mountain, or human attached to a centaur, or human attached to the moon, even though they look wholly separate, or human attached to a ring of swords. But I'm kind of belaboring the point. I do like the summon from Wild Arms 5. Lucadia was great. And with the Sea Rune done, let's get to one of my favorite runes, the Saint Rune. And I think this is where I've actually cleaned up the tier list as well. I have the Saint runes listed in S. I love both of them. The Centaur Man, Iona Paula, just so good. The effects are good. I like the design, the animation, the like like holiness of the Saint rune. It's so good. But to my original statement, I have now, I believe, added the Sword rune from Wild Arms Ultra Code F, as well as putting in the Thunder rune, not necessarily in the right place on the C tier, but I finally, I think, put in the Thunder rune in the C tier for Wild Arms Ultra Code F as well. So we're getting there. Things are a little bit happening all over the place, but at least gotten there. As far as the Saint rune, I have no choice but to put them in S. I love both of them. They're such a simple like rune design. I don't know what the runes are supposed to be looking like, but I kind of get like a slight angel vibe from it. So it's a saint, holy saint rune. But I just like the animation. I like the design. I like the effects, especially in Ultra Code F. Like, again, I'm a defensive person. I like defenses. I like magic defenses. So this is phenomenal. And I can't not gush about the Saint rune enough because it's just, oh yes, it ticks every box. It's got a great character. It's got great effects. It's got a great animation. Like, yes. And this is coming from me who said Wild Arms 1 is a little bit rough because it's a simpler game. Sometimes the simpler animations or something about the animation just hits quite right, you know? And the Saint rune, it's hitting quite right today. And from the Saints, we ascend to the heavens. So let's talk about the Heavens rune, which features in Wild Arms 1 and Wild Arms 5. Surprisingly, not Wild Arms Ultra Code F. All right, I just gotta say this: the Wild Arms 5 summon runes for the Sky rune, the Heavens rune, top tier, absolute favorite. It's got rainbows, it's got a spellcaster, it's got those symbols in the book that I love, it's got a book being pierced, it's got magic going on. It is top tier, which is why the Heavens rune or Sky rune from Wild Arms 5 is an S tier for me. I absolutely adore it. I could eat it up all day. The A tier goes to Wild Arms regular Heavens rune, which we'll touch on when we get to the Ice rune next as well, that I think it was nice. It's just pretty simple. It's a saint. He does magic. He's got rainbows. Pretty solid. I like the effects. It reminds me of the Valkyrie spell in Wild Arms 1 that summons the little colored orbs that go everywhere, which was a big fan of me. I like rainbows, clearly, but I also like things that are just kind of like mystical, magical. So the Heavens rune fits all those boxes. I think the animations are nice. I think the design is great. And I like that it didn't just copy and paste from Wild Arms 1 to Wild Arms 5. It just made it wholly new. It's still kind of like saintly and like a little angelic with the robes and like the halo of colors behind them. But without much ado, let's also talk about the Ice rune, which does, I think, muddy the waters a bit in terms of rune design, as we'll touch on here in a minute. Don't adjust your dials. That is not the Heaven's Rune making a secret appearance on Wild Arms 2 as an S tier. That is the Snow Rune from Wild Arms 2, which to me is an exact copy of the Heaven's Rune from Wild Arms 1. And I had to double check this because I thought I messed up, but that's the Snow Rune. That's how it looks. So the two Snow Runes that I gave an S tier for were Wild Arms 2 and Ultra Code F. A big ice monster. Wild Arms Ultra Code F, a furry. He's got no face, but I could work with that. But he's big, he's buff, and he's got fur. And, you know, he's a snow monster. He's a Yeti. I can take that. Wild Arms 2, I like the design. It's a little bit more bestial. I like the kind of more rough, animalistic style of it. And not to throw any diss to Wild Arms 1. Wild Arms 1 was also great. I do enjoy it. That's why I landed up in B tier. But as far as, like, my loves, Wild Arms Ultra Code F. If that Snow Rune can marry me, or that Ice Rune can marry me, I would be there in a heartbeat. Although, if I had to pick, I would still pick Dino Genos from Wild Arms 5. Just saying. But I think it's time we slow things down, and let's dive into the Time Rune. As featured in Wild Arms 2, Wild Arms 3, and Ultra Code F. Oh, this cat. Oh, this cat, Dan Dariam. Again, the names are never said out loud in the games, and I think that's a shame, because I need pronunciation help. I can barely speak this sentence, right? Like, I'm not the greatest with the English language. However, we do have our first honorable mention for an F tier, which goes to Wild Arms Ultra Code F. And I say honorable mention. No, they fully landed in the F tier. I'm not a fan of the Wild Arms Ultra Code F time summon. And it might be colored by the fact that it's also effect-based, as the Love Rune will also be effect-based, and that's why it landed in F tier, not purely based on design and or summon. But they are consistent, right? It's a wacky cat with wacky sounds that manipulates time in somewhat of a wacky way. I just think my personal favorite was Wild Arms 3. I love the Wild Arms 3 time rune, probably because I use it the most, and I can use it to do big damage, so I know it's got good function. The animations in the clip show don't show what you could do with it, because that's not necessarily the point of what I'm trying to show here. I'm not trying to show how to maximize the use of every summon. It's just more so, what animations do I like? Don't I like? Who knows? But Wild Arms 1 and Wild Arms 2 landed in B tier. I do enjoy them quite a lot. I like how Wild Arms 2 is the Guardian rune, like it's the gold one. I love that. I wish we had more of those. Like Wild Arms 3, at the end, you can make all of the runes gold, which are not featured here, which probably would have helped me sort them, but besides the point. I just like the fact that Wild Arms 2 had distinct gold runes, which Wild Arms 3 did, but then by the end of it, all of your runes are gold. I like 2 having set runes being gold. The time one being gold makes perfect sense. I like it. Oh, sorry. And then we should also probably take from the time and head to the stars and talk about my favorite little summon. With a wide variety of opinions, unfortunately none of them made it to S. Let's talk about the star rune next. Oh, star of mine. Oh, Brig de Bright. I wish you were slightly better. Wild Arms Alter Code F. I'm sorry, you get the C. This one is purely on effect. Like the summon animation, if I was going, and I should have probably changed this because I'm wish-washing every thought of mine. If I was going on the animation, it probably would have been S tier. I like how it phases into it, into existence and stuff like that. I do enjoy that, but I think the animation is great up until it focuses on just Cecilia. Then it loses me because all it does is just spread your spell around, which I am sorry. I could have done that in the first game. Like, I don't necessarily quite remember Wild Arms 1 if a high fire hits everybody or if it just does group. I think it does group damage at that point. But why? Why couldn't we just have like an actual spell that just did like group casting? Why did it have to be a summon? Why do I have to spend my force points on this just to get a summon to heal everybody? I'd rather just use an Ambrosia. However, it's pretty middle of the pack for Wild Arms 1, but a little bit higher for Wild Arms 2. Wild Arms 1, it just is a damage spell, which is the same for Wild Arms 2. Wild Arms 1, it just kind of shows up, does a flip, and explodes. Wild Arms 2, kind of, I think it shoots a laser. Again, my memory's not the greatest, and I'm not actually watching the video right now. But I do enjoy it. I like the Comet that is Rig de Bright is my favorite. One of my favorite summons in the game. But as far as animation goes, it's okay. Like again, if I could redo this list, and I probably should have, I would put Wild Arms Alter Code F higher based on the animation alone. But the effect that I know I shouldn't have been counting really detracts from it. Wild Arms Alter Code F has a lot of changes to the effects of some of the summons in terms of what they do, and that's fine because obviously we need to keep things fresh. Maybe things don't work as well when the game is completely revamped and redesigned, but they could have done my boy Rig de Bright a little bit better. And crashing into the castle, we will talk about the 2 castle runes next. Zeldukes, who I completely forgot about. Zeldukes is besides the sword rune in Wild Arms 1, which I completely spaced on how to get and didn't get, Zeldukes in Alter Code F is the one that I hate the most, but is probably ranking a little bit higher because of how you get it. But let's talk about the castle rune after we watch their summon animation. And despite wanting me to punch a castle wall until it falls down, Wild Arms Alter Code F gets an S tier for the castle rune because of the symbols and the green design that it emanates from the body. It's a defensive rune. It hits everything that I am looking for in terms of a rune, and I love the monster design. It's a great monster design, but I wish it didn't take so long to get. I think both Wild Arms and Wild Arms Alter Code F require you to donate money to get the rune. And I think there's a little bit more of a timeline on the Alter Code F one. Don't quote me on that. I think there's a timeline on both technically, but Wild Arms regular castle rune, pretty solid. It's okay. Again, I like the defensiveness of it. It's pretty solid. The animations are pretty mid. There's nothing super standout. I do like the rainbows. That's why it's in B and not C, but it's okay. I prefer Alter Code F because of the sheer spectacle of it. But Wild Arms, castle rune, you can do pretty well. And next is probably one of the more polarizing of the summons that I have on this list. because of how much they've changed it in the games. Looking at you, Wild Arms 4, we're going to be talking about the Life Rune, the last of the Wild Arms 4 summons.
Safety device disengaged. Linking to the material. That's activated. Code O.
Let's finish this before I get hurt again.
Safety device disengaged. Conduct a symphony. Access limited. Code O.
No way I'm gonna lose.
And oof, what a Wild Arms 4 summon that was. What can I say about how they've butchered the unicorn with the ascot and the like bowl cut, other than the fact that they've massacred my boy, and I don't stand for this. Wild Arms 1 introduced a unicorn blue healing magic. Ooh, I love that. Love healing, love unicorns. Totally fine, totally solid. It's a simple design, right? It comes in the story, you have to get it for plot reasons, and I like it. It's simple, it does its job, we're solid. Then we get to Wild Arms 2, and he's an action hero. He's jumping on spikes, raising from the ground, he jumps into the sky, he heals the party. He's got a little ascot, he's got a haircut, he's a white little unicorn, and he's here for business, and I love that. That summon is Wild Arms 2 to me. There's something about it that it just... I think of Wild Arms 2, my first thought is that little summon. Not the plot, not my love for Brad Evans. That summon is the first thing I think of because it is so iconic. It is so perfect. That's why Wild Arms 2 lands in S tier. And Alter Code F for the same thing. It keeps the design. We love you, Wild Arms Alter Code F, for doing that one thing. You knew peak design when you saw it, and you kept it. And now I don't know which came out first, Wild Arms 4 or Alter Code F, but if it was 4 and then Alter Code F, Wild Arms 4, you dropped the ball. Thank you, Wild Arms Alter Code F, for picking it back up. If Alter Code F came out first, Alter Code F, you did great. Wild Arms 4, bad. Wild Arms 4, Life Rune, goes in F tier. I don't mind the Serpent design. I really like the second summon. The high summon for Wild Arms Alter Code F is phenomenal. I think it's great. It makes me think of the life simulator, like live reflectors, there we go, from Wild Arms 2. Makes me think of the space travel in Wild Arms 1. I really enjoy it. Love the fact that it circles the globe like an Ouroboros and kind of like creates the glyphs and the sigils that heal you. Love that. Hate the fact that it's not a unicorn. Hate the fact that it's just a serpent. Still got a horn, because it's called Live Horn, I guess, or, Code O. Not a fan. Could not stand it. Absolutely not. Moving on. We're done talking about this atrocious summon. And since I'm feeling a little bit fiery, let's take our trip down to Hades. Go from there, because we're going to be talking about the Hades rune from Wild Arms 1 and Wild Arms Alter Code F next. And we've reached it. We've reached the pinnacle of my summoned love. I love the absolute fuck out of the Hades rune. And I could swear because I'm talking about the Hades rune from Wild Arms 1 and Wild Arms Ultra Code F. They're slightly different in terms of the design, but they are a big buff insectoid looking man with a sword, and I love it. And I love, and again, I'm taking some inspiration from the game and how you get it. I love the puzzle in the De La Metallica book in Wild Arms 1, collecting the other books, getting the summon. It's so good. I really enjoy it. I don't really remember if you do the same thing in Wild Arms Ultra Code F. I have a love for all the Wild Arms games, but I think 4, 5, and Ultra Code F are the games I've played the least out of them. The first 3 I play almost every year. Crossfire I'll do occasionally, but there's no summon, so we're not talking about it. But I love the design of the Hades rune. It's so perfect. It's absolutely phenomenal. And because I love it so much, the next rune we're going to be talking about is the love rune, Raftina. And potentially another polarizing opinion. I have thoughts and I will say them. I do not enjoy the Love Rune as a whole. I mean, they're great. Like, I put Wild Arms 2 in the S tier. I love the image of the cathedral popping in, kind of juxtaposed to the summon herself. Like, I think it's phenomenal. I love the shatteringness of it. I don't know if it does damage, because I actually don't know, or if it's just an instant kill. But that, like, it's so good. It's such a good animation. I'm a big fan. Wild Arms A is solid. I like the angelic like qualities of Raftina. I enjoy the nature of it. I love how Wild Arms 3, Sacred Blood, I believe what the summon's called. Like, she's a fighter now. She's like, I got this. I got a sword. I'm gonna heal you. I'm gonna do this, that, and the other. Like, I love the animations. I love the swings as she like cuts the screen and like makes it look cool. I love that. Then we get to Wild Arms Ultra Code F. The summon is fine enough. She comes down, swoops around, does whatever thing. She touches face with Cecilia, and then she just gives her back MP. Again, I'm judging it based on what the effect does. The fact that it doesn't heal the party and just gives Cecilia MP and MP only, it does make thematic sense because of how you get the Love Rune in Wild Arms 1 and Ultra Code F. Fine. I would rather have it be a full party heal. I know we have the Love Rune, the Life Rune, excuse me, and the Love Rune. They're kind of doing the same thing. But, like, one could revive and one could heal the status elements. You know, they could keep them separated. You know, make it a weaker heal with the Life Rune. Maybe it doesn't heal 100, maybe it only heals 50% and cures all statuses. And then the Love Rune does everything. I'm not sure if I said that backwards or, you know, mislabeled life and love, but, like, life, live, and, you know, move on. Because I do not enjoy Wild Arms Ultra Code F Raftina's effects. Because it's just not for me. And I have the courage to say that as we move on to the courage rune next. Oh, Justine. Oh, Justine. They did you so bad. It's polarizing. It's in A and B for Justine, I think. I might not have put him in actual A. Looking at it. Did I put him in S? I think I put him in S. I put Alter Code F in S. That's fine. I'll put him. Okay, that's on me. That's not my tier maker. That's me messing this up on my list that I'm going off of for this reading. So that's fine. I'll own it. So Wild Arms Alter Code F goes in S tier. It raises your attack. He's chained up. He's a bad boy. He breaks free and raises our own offensive qualities. I love that. I love buffs and I love element of danger, if you will. Wild Arms 2, let's talk about the positive before we bash on the negative. It's a Transformer robot. And I think, and don't quote me on this because, again, I've watched the animation summons like 3 times over, but my memory is only so much because of all that I'm trying to do with this. I think that there's a dungeon where you get the Courage Rune that involves an eagle, a lion, and a dragon. The Drago, the eagle, and the lion statues. And I think that's what forms the Transformer robot style connections. I think it's those 3. I could be wrong, but if not, and I'm actually correct, which I'd be surprised by, I think that's fun. I think it's fun being a Transformer. I would be thrilled to have that as a summon. I think that's fun. I think that's wild. The other 2, though, Wild Arms and Wild Arms 3. I'm not fully basing it on the fact that they are a chance to kill ability. I'm 90% sure on both of those because it's one that I remember seeing miss quite a bit. I think also Wild Arms 2, but Wild Arms 2 just has a spectacle of being a Transformer. But Wild Arms 1 and 3, their designs are great. I like them. The summon animation's kind of med. They just kind of swing their swords around. But also the fact that they are a chance to miss or a chance to kill hit does not sit well with me. I praise the Death Rune for doing that because it's the Death Rune. The Courage Rune should have been a buff, should have been an attack, should have been like maybe it does massive damage with a chance to auto kill, and it could auto kill anything. Maybe if you're fighting a boss, it doesn't auto kill it automatically, or it's got a lower chance to auto kill. Something. Just give me some damage other than just a miss and a whiff, you know? That's why 1 and 3 are in the lower ends. Not a fan. I think the animations are great, but the effects like Raftina from Wild Arms Alter Code F, just not for me. Not for me. Also, the rune design is wildly different between all 3 of them, and it really took me a minute to figure out which one is which. To this point, I'm even still thinking that I put the Summit rune or the Saint rune in the wrong place because I look at the lower F tier and I'm like, that's the Saint rune. I'm like, no, Ryan, that's the Courage rune. Wild Arms 1. Consistency. Never heard of it. But it does fill me with hope as we move on to the Hope rune, and we can hopefully have a thrilling conclusion as we get to some of my favorite ones. All right, I'm just gonna come out and say it. The Zephyr rune, the Hope rune from Wild Arms 1, 2, 3, and Ultra Cut F, A tier. A tier and above. They're all good. They're so good. The dragon creature, it's slightly design changed, sure. Ripping his heart out, slamming it into the earth and causing a cataclysmic explosion. It's the pinnacle of the game. Like, it's what the game is meant for. You know, it's like the full, like, even in Wild Arms 2, it says, like, what is a hero if you're gonna just sacrifice yourself? It's literally sacrificing yourself to be a hero to save you from a fight. I love the designs of the Wild Arms 1 and 2 runes the most. 3 and Ultra Cut F are fine, but when they changed all of the designs in 3, none of them are really my favorites. I think the only one I really enjoy is the Time one, possibly. Even then, it's a stretch. But I just love the summons. The animations are cool. The fact that it rips at its own heart to deal damage is both endearing and tragic at the same time. And I'm just enjoying the fact that it's a giant fucking dragon in space for the most part. You know, it comes down, it kills what it needs to do, and it's perfection. There's only a few left, and without further ado, let's test our luck as we talk about Chapapanga and see if I can ever get that pronunciation done, because I always want to say Topanga from Boy Meets World. But we're going to talk about the luck rune next. All right. This is the one where I'm actually surprised of where I put some of these things. because I do enjoy Wild Arms 2. Wild Arms 2 Luck Rune got a B tier. Also, inconsistent designs for the Luck Rune from Wild Arms 2 and Wild Arms 3, which is fair because it only appears in 3 games, 2, 3, and 5. Doesn't appear back in All Out Code F, which is hilarious. As far as I have it on here. If I'm missing it, that's on me. But yeah, I like the Luck Rune. I like the little guy. I like the little, like, not insectoid, but the little, like, almost like Mickey Mouse cartoonish character. He is another one that I think of when I think of Wild Arms 2 and Wild Arms 3. That little man with his little beam shooting stuff. Like, he's a fun little guy, especially in Wild Arms 3 when he is minuscule. The Lucky Shot ability, the effect is great. If you can kill with an enemy, you get an item drop guaranteed. So good for the Necronomicons, trying to grind up to get max stats on everybody with the best equipment and best armor and best accessories in Wild Arms 2. It's so fun. I like it. Wild Arms 3, I think I like the summon a little bit more because of the animation. It's a little bit cleaner. But Wild Arms 5, they said, no more little man. We're going full centaur. And I'm like, even better, a speedy centaur. A speedy centaur who is just zipping around. You can't see him. Like, I love the design and the attribute. I don't know what it has to do with luck at all. Couldn't tell you. But I'm not going to ask questions like that because the animation is perfect. Wild Arms 5, coming through. Coming through with all the summons so far. I think there's only one left that is coming in later, the moon one, but before we actually talk about the moon itself, let's talk about the dark side on the moon with the only singular summon that we have to talk about, the Darkness Rune from Wild Arms 2. And it should go without no surprise. Wild Arms 2's Darkness Rune, S tier. He's a evil little creature. He's an evil buff man. I'm a villain lover. We're a match made in heaven. And again, this is the one where I'm also like, is this the Darkness Rune in S or is that the Courage Rune? I don't remember. But I'm assuming so because I labeled them all. But even still, like, who's to say, right? But the Darkness Rune is so good. It only appears in one game, which is a shame. I almost lumped it in with the Moon because I thought they were the exact same summon, but I realized, oh no, they're completely different. Because Darkness and the Moon are not the same effect. One does dark damage, the other one is gravity-based. And I was like, oh, or okay, gravity and or butterfly-based, if you want to talk about Wild Arms 5, but it is what it is. I really enjoy the Darkness animation. It's so good. It's almost on the same tier as Dino Genos from Wild Arms 5. I love this summon animation so much. I want more. I wish we would have had a summon for the Darkness summon in Wild Arms 5. I wish we had all of the summons in Wild Arms 5. Like, every single last one of them. Give me all new animations, like I've said before. I cannot get enough. And as we've talked about the dark side of the moon and darkness, let's talk about the actual moon herself. Oh, Celestiu, Celestiu, Celestiu. Wild Arms 3, I love you. The Moon Goddess, your little ephemeral, ethereal ribbon around your shoulders, flicking your hand and sending creatures careening into your surface to die. I think in the animation is the only time I've ever actually realized that it does auto kill. It has a chance to auto kill. surprised me. I was like, it's an auto kill chance? I thought it just did nothing. But I think that's the first and only time I've ever actually seen it do what it was supposed to do. And then we get to Wild Arms 5, which again is great because it's a lengthy summon. It's a beautiful summon animation to look at. The buff debuffing thing is great as well, but I just don't see it. That is not my set list due from Wild Arms 3. I don't know who she is. If I saw her on the street, I would not know who she was. And I can just say that for a statement with my full chest. And that's it. I mean, I'm going to wrap this up with the last summon, my biggest desire, if you will, to get more of. But we'll talk about the Desire Rune from Wild Arms 3 and Wild Arms Ultra Code F, and then Desire as a whole in the Wild Arms franchise a bit as well. But let's get on with it. Oh, Lucide. Deserves so much better than this. I gave Lucide from Wild Arms 3 an S tier because it's the first time we get to use Lucide as a summon in the game and summon it. And then Ultra Code F was an A tier. I'm waffling. I waffled so hard. I thought about putting Wild Arms Ultra Code F in the F tier again. Because what does the Raining Swords have to do with Desire? Why am I in the Keyblade Graveyard if this was medieval times, the Keyblade Graveyard? Why could you not have just been more like Darkness, Eyeball, Chaotic, Eldritch Horror like you were in Wild Arms 3? What happened? Because to be quite frank, I thought Wild Arms Ultra Code F's Lucide summon was Justine, like the Courage summon. And I had to redo a double take because I'm like, did I put that in the wrong place? No, it's Desire. Could not tell you why. But as a whole, like, Desire has been through all the Wild Arms franchise. It's Wild Arms 1, the little doggo that's traveling with Boomerang. I was going to say Bellsolic, but no, Boomerang. And it does help you a bit. It helps you through a puzzle, and it's nice. And it's one of the lost Guardian Lords in Wild Arms Ultra Code F as well. Because it's not with the main three. It's like an offshoot. Like, you have to get it somewhere else, I believe. Again, I haven't played Wild Arms Ultra Code F in a hot minute. But also in Wild Arms 2, it traveled along Anastasia and her quest to destroy Lord Blazer, and I really enjoy that part where you got to go through the Memory Palace and like travel with Lucide and Anastasia. That's so much fun. It's a lot of fun. Comes back in Wild Arms 3, and we don't see it since. I mean, obviously in Ultra Code F, but it's a remake of 1, so of course it's there. And now it's a summon, which is great. But out of the 4 Guardian Lords, like Love, Courage, Hope, and Desire, I was hoping we would have got more summons with them. Maybe even in Wild Arms 5, give us a Desire summon, you know, or give us a group Desire summon. Maybe all 3 characters have to be on the same tile, and it's not a summon, but it's an ability, you know? But I think that's where I'm going to end things for this video with talking about what I desire. I do hope the Wild Arms franchise continues to exist in the future. I've played the game quite often on stream. I'm currently doing Wild Arms 4 achievement hunting run as I drop my keyboard on my desk because I'm fidgeting. I know Harkin streams Wild Arms a lot. I know there's some streamers on Twitch who do that as well in terms of Wild Arms games. But with the future of gaming as a whole being bleak, I just wanted to touch about the games that I love. And Harkin, like I mentioned at the top, asked me to rank all of the Wild Arms summons. And I think this was like a month and a half, 2-month long process because I know I started this in July, give or take. And here we are, almost at the end of August. I'm finally wrapping up with the voice recording. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys all next time. I don't know what I'm going to be doing or when it's going to be happening, but I'll see you. Have a good one. Oh, and tell me what your favorite Wild Arms summons are in the comments below. Or if you think my summons opinions are hot trash, tell me that as well. Let's start. I wouldn't mind beefing with some people in the comments if you have a different opinion of me. It's all in good fun. I just exist as a random voice and a random avatar on the internet. It's fine. We'll be fine. Also, I don't know how my math flaps are working, so bear with me. Have fun. Love ya. Bye.